Here comes the money. You're now listening to the Gambling with Gold podcast with Jason Gold. Presented by Champions Round.
Welcome to Gambling with Gold. My name is Jason Gold. This is a special edition of the podcast. We're going to be doing a Big Board Showdown live mock draft with all of these beautiful faces that you see on screen right now. All of our Champions Round content teams, Steph Smalls, Dan Turner, Jeff Haseley. We are going to go through 1 through 32 entire first round of the 2022 NFL Draft. Excited to have you all on. How's everybody doing today?
Great.
Well, I think we should ask Dan first how he's feeling because he shaved his whole face off. So I feel like the appropriate question is, how are you feeling today, Dan?
I'm feeling great. Thank you for asking.
Good.
Never better.
I'm glad. Yes, I'm
No.
good.
I bet
Dan-
you he's been better.
Dan, you look wonderful.
You are
Beautiful.
all liars.
No, you
You
do.
look
Freshly powdered. Looks like you're right out of the womb. Looking great.
You're trying to look like a GM right now. I appreciate
Basic
that
training,
you
Dan.
are playing-
That's
yeah,
what it is.
you're being the player.
This is a collectible. It's only lasts for a limited time.
It's actually, we're going to turn it into an NFT and sell it on the store in about 20 minutes. So
Perfect.
get your Dan beardless face in right now.
Fearless Dan.
As an NFT.
Action figure.
Oh my god.
All right. So before we get to that, let's talk a little bit about Big Board Showdown. We all love the game. You can go play it right now. You can play with anyone from 6 to 16 players. You draft a roster of 12 NFL draft prospects, and you earn points based on where they are drafted in the real-life NFL draft. Go play right now, and I'm going to play a little teaser for what we have in store. So there you go. That's what you can play with us at Champions Round. Go download the app right now and come play a Big Board Showdown with us. We're all going to be doing our own drafts. Look out on Twitter for invites and codes to come for our drafts. Every day is draft day. We'll be doing tons of live shows for the Big Board Showdown drafts. I will as well. I know Jeff's going to get into some too, and we're looking forward to it. We also have 5 7-stakes contests that are all live right now for the NFL Draft. We have 3 that are going on for day 1 of the draft, and then 1 for rounds 2 and 3, and rounds 4 and 7 on Saturday. All right, that does it. I got all the business out of the way. Let's party, people. First pick in our mock draft goes to Steph Smalls, who is on the clock with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and she gets to impersonate Trent Baalke. Have fun, Steph.
Listen, I want to impersonate him, but I think for the fans, I'm not going to put anyone through too much misery. It's impossible to really mess up here. It's going to be Aiden Hutchinson. Whether Baalke decides that is a smart choice is a very risky thing to bet on. So I will go Aiden Hutchinson, but I wouldn't be surprised if they end up going Trayvon Walker. I really wouldn't, because this guy is a spitfire. Is that the most polite way to say it?
A spitfire. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Jeff, what do you think of the move if they actually went Trayvon Walker here?
I'd be surprised. I think Hutchinson is also the pick. But if they were to go with another player besides Hutchinson, I think it would be Walker. The defensive line really needs to have a boost there in Jacksonville, and either one of those would be pretty good.
I just can't foresee them actually taking a chance on a guy like Walker, who doesn't have the sort of production that Hutchinson had. I wonder if this has anything to do with Jim Harbaugh and Michigan and Baalke. I know I mentioned this on my podcast yesterday, but things are obviously a little weird between those two. But, I mean, Baalke's in a lot of trouble here. Doug Peterson holds all of the power in that organization. We saw what Baalke did with Urban Meyer last year. It's lucky that he was even able to keep the GM job. Why take more of a risk and try to swing for a home run on Walker when you have Hutchinson? At worst, he's a double. He could definitely be a home run, but he's a double or triple all day long. You don't need to take more chances. You have another dynamic player on the other side with Josh Allen. Just have a guy like Hutchinson who can just go in there and make plays and help your defense out. I don't know why you would go Walker here.
I feel like with this pick too, there not being this clarity as far as quarterbacks go, you have to take a guy that you know is going to improve your team tomorrow. It's not like you can't just start taking risks and taking projects here. Like, go with the guy that you know at the next level is going to help you, and there's a small margin for error.
All right. Looks like I'm on the clock with the second pick, Detroit Lions. They could go Trayvon Walker here if he falls. I know there was a report last week that Albert Breer said that Dan Campbell does not like Kayvon Thibodeau's personality. Well, I'm into gambling, and the gambling market suggests that Kayvon Thibodeau is going to be the pick if Aiden Hutchinson goes first. I'm going Kayvon Thibodeau. No one has done more research than the Lions on Thibodeau. I think he's the pick at number 2. I wouldn't be shocked if there's some sort of trade here between Detroit and Jacksonville, so Detroit can move up to 1 and get Aiden Hutchinson. I think that's who they really want. They would be running to the podium if they took Trayvon Walker at number 1. But in this situation, Hutchinson goes 1 to Jacksonville. I take Kayvon Thibodeau from Oregon at number 2.
Fair. Fine. I'm hoping he falls a little,
That's
but
fine.
it makes sense too. I feel like you can't pass on him either.
Do you want him at 5?
I don't necessarily want him at 5. I guess it kind of depends on the way that the tackles and everything goes. I don't want to say too much because knowing Dan, he'll like do something just to annoy me. But I would like him to fall for sure because the need for the Giants is obviously edge.
All right. So Jeff, you're on the pick at you're on the board here at number 3 with the Houston Texans. Texans need everything possible. So which direction do you want to go here?
Yeah, I could potentially go with offensive tackle here, but they still have Laramie Tunsil, and it's. I don't think that they necessarily need to have a left tackle, and it's too early to get a right tackle here at this pick. I do think though that they need defensive end help. Right now they have Jonathan Greenard, who actually is not a bad type of player. He had 8 sacks last year, but he's their top defensive end right now, and they really don't have anyone else. Kingsley Keke. So I think that Houston will be ecstatic to get a defensive end here, and I am going to go with, what do you think?
I'm thinking Trayvon Walker, but maybe Jermaine Johnson. I don't know.
No, I was going to say Trayvon Walker, right, but Jermaine Johnson I think is not a bad option here, but I don't see him as a top 5 type of pick, so I'm gonna go with Walker as the Texans' number 3 pick in the draft.
All righty. That puts Dan on the board with the New York Jets at number 4. 3 defensive linemen off the board. I know that the Jets are really interested in defensive linemen or potentially an offensive lineman here. Maybe a cornerback, although the Jets beat seems to think that they're not going to go cornerback here. They could go wide receiver at 4. They could also potentially package this for Deebo Samuel, who requested a trade today. Which direction do you see them going, Dan?
Well, if the draft shakes out like this, and we know that Robert Saleh does want defensive end help, but taking the top 3 defensive ends at 1, 2, and 3 kind of eliminates that. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the best offensive lineman on the board, which you can't go wrong with, and take Evan Neal from Alabama for the Jets.
All right, so reports on the board right now that I saw earlier, I believe it was Albert Breer, that the Jets, if it gets to a situation between Kayvon Thibodeau and Ike Ekwonu, those are the guys that they're deciding between. Kayvon Thibodeau plus 275 to be the 4th overall pick, and Ike Ekwonu plus 850 to be the 4th overall pick. I would be surprised, to be honest with you, if they took another offensive lineman after taking Becton and Elijah Vera Tucker in the last 2 years. But it's possible. They want to protect their best asset right now, and they think their best asset is Zach Wilson. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them go O-line, I guess. And Evan Neal, Dan, as you wrote earlier, that article is on Champions Round right now, that you believe that Evan Neal is the number 1 offensive lineman in this class.
Yep. So getting him at number 4, they do have a pretty good offensive line, but I mean, you can always do better. There are a lot of injuries. The right side has a couple of question marks on it. So I'm really comfortable taking him here.
All right, Steph, you're on the board. New York Giants at 5, and you also have the wraparound at 7. I'm pretty sure I know who this pick is, but why don't you break it down?
Malik Willis. That's what's going to happen.
Give me Brees Hall. No, I'm kidding. Icky The gentleman's out. So it will be icky. That flexibility there. First of all, an obvious need for this team. If you're going to commit to Daniel Jones, you have to protect him. The O-line has obviously just been absolutely abysmal for years at this point, and you get a guy that does have the flexibility to both play tackle and guard, be full-time tackle, and you start securing that line there so they can hopefully get some production.
All right, I think that's a safe pick. I do think that if Neal or Ekwonu is there, they're definitely going to end up with one of those guys. If they're both off the board there, so let's say that the board goes Hutchinson, Thibodeau, Neal, Ekwonu, top 4. Steph, where do you want them to go?
Well, as much as Cross is growing on me, I know a lot of people are very high on him, which is fine. It sounds like from the Giants camp, they're very, very high on him. It will not surprise me if they take Cross. I think as long as one of these guys is sitting there, they're going to take them.
All right. Sounds good. So O-lineman, no matter what, the old Kevin Costner from draft day, draft an O-lineman no matter what. Put that little sticky note on your computer if you're Joe Shane in New York. All right. Carolina up at 6, a really, really interesting pick, given the fact that they have no second rounder, no third rounder, no fourth rounder, a needed quarterback, $18 million committed to Sam frickin' Darnold, and Matt Rule with his ass absolutely on fire in Carolina. Jeff, where are we going here?
So, okay, with Ike Ekwonu and Evan Neal off the board, the Panthers are left with just Charles Cross if they decide to go with offensive tackle here. I think this is an opportunity for them to trade down to a team. I know we can't do it in this draft, but to trade down with, either Atlanta, Seattle, Washington, Pittsburgh, any one of those, whoever has the best deal to move up and try to get Malik Willis. I think Carolina should jump at that, especially if they could get back into the top 12 with this pick. And then they could potentially trade down again because, like you said, they need draft capital. But we can't do that in this mock. So putting all of that aside, I do think that Carolina would go ahead and take Charles Cross. He's been compared to other offensive tackles who are more strong in terms of pass protection, like a Trent Williams. Not to say that he's not a good run blocker, but pass protection is definitely his strength, his forte. And that's something that, of course, Carolina would love to have. I see him as an offensive tackle who could be in the league as a standout player upwards of 10 years. So if that person comes across your plate, you get him. So Carolina's going to take Charles Cross.
I agree with that if they say it's 6. I do not think that they would take Pickett at 6.
No, I hope not.
I have a hard time believing that. And I do think that a trade is probably the most likely scenario here if your GM Fittner is actually the one in charge. I believe that he is.
Yeah.
If it's Matt Rule, I don't think there's a trade down here.
Yeah, and another reason why they might not take Malik Willis themselves is because they're not in necessarily a place right now to bring along a prospect type of quarterback. They don't really have the personnel. They need someone who could come in and play right away. And whether that's going to be, hopefully it's not Sam Darnold next year, although there's still speculation of such. But they could also perhaps get Baker Mayfield in a trade, or Jimmy Garoppolo either in a trade, or if he's later released post June 1st, they could look at signing him. So questions abound in Carolina, and I think a lot's going to be known at the end of this first round.
All right, I'm going to make a prediction here, and someone's not going to trade up for a quarterback. Minnesota Vikings trade up from 12 to 6 to take a cornerback. They trade you a third-round pick, and you flip that third-round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers. That's what I think happens.
Okay.
Jason's thought process is always so calculated. Well, he's like, this is what's going to happen. He knows every single step. It's literally one of my favorite things.
It could happen. And we heard it here first. You're going to go back to this video and be like, hey, get this section.
I hope so. All
the parts in a row. And then he says like, yeah, this happens. And the third goes here and the fourth goes. Yeah. It's great.
I'm building a gambling Rubik's Cube in my brain right now. No one else has to understand it, but hopefully I do. All right. Steph, you're up again with the New York Giants at number 7. I'm going to guess that you're going to go cornerback here, but I want to hear where you're going to go.
It's going to be Mr. Sauce Gardner. I think this is a perfect fit given Martindale, given the way that this board has laid out here. I think that you don't pass on him. Stingley, you can make an argument for. I know, Jason, we've talked about Ahmad even possibly going higher than this at 4 to the Jets. And I think he's in a position to go in the top 5. It, again, wouldn't totally shock me. But I think he is the perfect fit in Wink's system with this blitz heavy D that he has. I love Gardner just adding to the Giants roster. I think that'd be a slam dunk between Icky and Gardner. Awesome.
That would be an absolutely awesome draft for the New York Giants if it happens. I'm more partial to Derek Stingley. I would take him over Sauce just because of the 2019 tape, but I don't think that you can go wrong with Sauce here at 7.
I don't disagree with you. It's just that the Giants literally cannot mess up, and I think they cannot take someone that has had like an injury history. Just keep it simple at this point, guys. Let's not do anything crazy.
It's exactly like the Jacksonville Jaguars thing. Like, you just need to have a win on the board.
Right.
So
it's
why
easy.
go for the home run when you can hit the double or triple and you'll be fine?
Yes.
All right, Dan Turner, you are up at 8 with the Atlanta Falcons. Very, very interested to see where you go here. The Falcons, kind of like Houston, could use a lot of help all over the place.
Mm-hmm. So there's plenty of different positions where they could go. The way the board is, shaping up now, I'm going to go ahead and get some help for their defensive backfield and actually take Derek Stingley.
All right.
Interesting.
The Giants bullied you.
They didn't.
Wow.
I was going to take Stingley regardless. But I think I agree. I think Stingley will end up a better pro than Gardner when it's all said and done. I think that, a lot is being made of his, freshman versus his later on tape. But the Falcons can go a bunch of places. They can take Willis here. They can take a wide receiver. But I think, having that after Stingley, he's definitely one of the top 2 guys at corner. So I'm happy with getting him there.
I was not expecting that pick. I'm a little flabbergasted. I think it's pairing Stingley and AJ Terrell is a nightmare for other teams. That would be really, really good for their defense. It would leave their offense really open for this season. Obviously, wide receiver has been heavily projected to them, but Stingley's a great player, so I could definitely see it happening here at 8. Puts me on the board at number 9 with the Seattle Seahawks. I was going to take Stingley if he was there. I could see a way where they want to double up at safety and go Kyle Hamilton, although everything that I've read, he's going to fall out of the top 10. I'm going to go – let's say that Baker gets cut and he goes to the Steelers. Let's say that Jimmy goes to the Carolina Panthers. Seattle Seahawks are not staying with Drew Lock. Give me Malik Willis at number 9.
Woohoo! There it is. I love it.
How confident are you, Jason, that Malik Willis will be a top 10 pick?
Not very. I don't feel confident that any of the quarterbacks are going to be a top 10 pick. The betting market would suggest that Pickett will be outside the top 10. Malik Willis will be inside the top 10. I think there's a chance that someone trades up to get him. I obviously think here at Seattle, like, that's a really good spot for him if the quarterback market kind of shakes out the way that I think it might. But I wouldn't say that I'm confident. I'm not going to put a bet on Willis to be a top 10 pick. All right, Jeff, that puts you on the board at number 10 with the New York Jets. Again, another pick that may be shipped out for Deebo Samuel. We'll see how that all shakes out. But assuming that it stays as is, who do you think the Jets take at number 10?
Well, their pick at 4 was Evan Neal, offensive tackle, strong place there. I was wondering if perhaps a defensive player would go there. However, that didn't happen. I do think that they're leaning defense here. They could take a wide receiver. There's every single wide receiver on the board. But I really honestly think that Kyle Hamilton is a difference maker in this league. And I am going to go with Hamilton joining the Jets. I was either thinking Hamilton or one of Gardner or Stingley would be a great fit for the Jets. And with Stingley and Gardner already gone, Hamilton's the pick.
I get the reason why you would go Hamilton here. It seems like the Jets have been mocked to every single wide receiver here at 10. So I guess using wisdom of the crowds, I would believe that they'd probably go wide receiver here. But Hamilton in that backfield, again, they definitely need a cornerback or sort of help in the defensive backfield. So, and he's going to be a big-time player. The tape at Notre Dame certainly suggests that he will be one, but his 4.7 40 definitely brought him down the board quite a bit.
I like the combination between him and Jordan Whitehead. Jordan Whitehead was a good safety last year for Tampa Bay, and for the Jets to get him and get Hamilton, I think that's an excellent combination that could obviously do dangerous things there for the Jets.
All right, so I'm up here at number 11 with the Washington Commanders. They tweeted it out earlier. I might as well do it. They're taking one of the wide receivers from Ohio State, whoever is available between Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. I think that in the real world, I think Olave is going to go here because I think that Wilson is going to go in the top 10. But given the way that this board is shaken down, I'm going to go Garrett Wilson here at number 11 to the Washington Commanders.
That's a good pick for them.
All right, number 12. Steph, you are on the board. I know that the Vikings really want a cornerback. Again, they might trade up for one. But given the situation here, there is one still available, one of the top 3 available. Might want to go there. Might want to go some other directions. Where do you see them going here at number 12?
So I actually was hoping that Hamilton would fall to them here. I see if he is available at 12, it, again, wouldn't surprise me if the Vikings go that route. Something that's interesting, which I'm not going to do it in this mock, but I'm warming up to the idea of the Vikings actually taking a receiver, which probably sounds insane, but I am warming up to that. They're going to have to pay Jefferson, and Thielen is going to be at a point where they're going to have to move on from him or whatever it is. I'm not going to do that. I will take a cornerback for them because I think it is a heavy need. I don't love Trent McDuffie, but I think it's only going to boost their secondary, which is a place on this roster that needs so much help and was so apparent last year. So I am going to go with Trent McDuffie. Edge is also interesting here. It is also interesting here. But for me, it's a little too early to take like a Jermaine Johnson. So I'll go Trent McDuffie.
I don't hate the idea of them taking a wide receiver. If
I love
it
it.
look out this way. Adam Thielen, you get out a year before he's a little bit too old, a little cooked. Justin Jefferson, you're going to have to pay. You'll probably end up, he's so good, you're going to end up paying him anyways. But have a second receiver like an Olave or Jameson Williams or a Drake London right here. I totally get it, especially considering that they brought in an offensive-minded head coach.
Right, 100%. I think
no
if they
love
start
for KJ Osborne?
No, I do. It's not that I don't. I love those guys over there. They have a great receiver room, and it gets looked over. But I think realistically, if they start seeing some of these guys come off the board, the Vikings might be a team that trade up because I think with the new GM, they're going to be very assertive in everything they do, and it's going to be very detail-oriented, like the way that Jason makes up scenarios in his head.
Well, they're sort of in no man's land if they definitely want a cornerback, because those 2 top corners most likely will be gone by 12.
Right. Or maybe they let someone take that spot. Maybe there's someone that wants to trade up and they head down and get a little bit more draft capital, which I don't think is a horrible option either.
Yep. I like it.
All right. Number 13 on the board. I have the pick. I think there's a lot of, it's Houston. There's a lot of different directions that they could go. I could see them going wide receiver if some of these guys fall here. But, well, actually, number 3, I was going to go Jermaine Johnson, but number 3, you took Trayvon Walker. So you know what? Screw it. We're going wide receiver here. We're getting the best guy left on the board. We're going to go with Jameson Williams.
What if they get Debo?
The Texans?
That's what they're talking about. That's the whole rumor right now. Imagine.
I can't. Oh, they have
the third.
They have so many picks.
They have to give him the third, right?
Well, they could give him. They could give him 13. Their second. They have all these picks from the Browns, and they've acquired a lot from Caserio. So it's possible that they would get Debo. I just don't know why they would try to accelerate their. Like Debo's a guy if you're in win now mode. Why would you do that if you're 3 or 4 years away? You don't even know what Davis Mills is yet. I don't know why you would get him at Debo and try to compete this year. I'd rather. I think that's more of a reason for Jameson Williams. If he misses a couple games, who cares? You're the Texans. You're tanking anyways. He's a guy that you want
everyone to love Nico Collins and appreciate him for what he is. Okay, just give the guy a freaking chance.
Yeah. Okay. You have fun with that take.
Damn.
No, he could be a good third wide receiver. Like Brandon Cooks, I know he got the extension, but
the audacity.
All right, Jeff is up at number 14 with the Baltimore Ravens. A really interesting spot and some nice guys on the board.
Yeah, there are some good guys on the board. The way this is falling, and the Ravens are a proud franchise. They've got they've long been known for making good, strong draft picks, especially in the first round. I think they could go offensive tackle here, but they also need a defensive end. Calais Campbell is, he's getting up there. Who knows how long he'll be, and not only on the team, but also being able to go as well as he has. So I think they're going to go with defensive end here, an edge rusher. I like Jermaine Johnson. I mean, he's fallen on the board this far. And I know that, Steph, you were kind of thinking about him earlier for your pick, but I think this is a fairly decent spot for him. And the Ravens are a team I think that he would mesh really well with, and vice versa. So Jermaine Johnson is the pick.
I love that if he gets the 14. It makes a lot of sense for them.
Yeah.
They definitely needed an edge rusher. So the perfect pick right there at number 14. I know the guy that they're, especially given the draft odds right now, Jordan Davis, potentially in play here. His over-under is 14.5. But if Jermaine makes it to 14, I do think that that's going to end up being the pick here. All right, Dan is up on the board. No shocker. He has the Philadelphia Eagles pick. They only have 2, not 3 this time after the trade with the Saints. So where are we going to go here at 15?
All right, so there is the Eagles have a bunch of needs, especially on defense, where we don't really have anyone that we can really hang our head on as a long-term player. So I'm going to go ahead and shore up that defensive backfield at the cornerback 2 spot by taking Andrew Booth from Clemson, who I actually like over McDuffie. So I was happy he was here.
So Booth available at 15 or taken 15 by the Eagles. His over-under in the draft market right now is somewhere in the high 20s. So going 15 would be a bit of a surprise, but definitely cornerback, a place of need here. If McDuffie and Booth are on the board, not your own personal opinion, where do you think the Eagles would go?
McDuffie.
Okay. All right, that puts Steph on the board at 16 with the New Orleans Saints.
I am going to go wide receiver here. Quarterback is somewhat tempting, but I don't think any of these guys they're going to take a liking to. They have to set Jameis up for success. Who knows what's going to happen with Michael Thomas? Even if he is to come back, they still need to pair him with someone. I'm surprised that Drake London is still sitting here with the mocks that I do. I actually probably have him possibly off the board already. Olave is where I keep who I keep drafting for them, but I am going to go Drake London because either or, I think you're not going to go wrong with either of these guys. I'm a little bit more partial to Drake London, so I'm going to go Drake London here to really change that offense because they got to get some weapons because we saw what happened last year. It just did not work.
I like the idea of Drake London with Michael Thomas.
Me too.
I think that could be a really, really nice pairing. And yeah, for London to be here at 16, his draft prop right now is 10.5. So would be a little surprised if he drops to 16, but definitely would be a good place for New Orleans. All right, I'm up at 17 with my Los Angeles Chargers, my quarterback, Justin Herbert. No one else gets to claim him, only me. They're in a really interesting situation given what is on the board right now. I see 3 potential options here. Number 1 would be Trevor Penning. Put a right tackle out there. Protect Justin Herbert. Double down on what you did last year with Rashawn Slater. Protect your best asset. Penning is an absolute monster on that right side, and it provides – he plays with a really, really nasty edge, which Slater doesn't, which may be interesting for the Chargers to kind of counterbalance each other. The second option is Jordan Davis. They did sign a couple of defensive tackles, including Sebastian Joseph Day, who Brandon Staley really liked from the Rams. So maybe Davis isn't a true need, but in terms of a run stuffer, someone that they absolutely needed last year, he would be a great option. I'm not going with either of those guys. I'm going to try and make my quarterback as good as possible. I'm going Chris Olave. I'm giving Justin Herbert the best deep threat in the entire NFL draft, someone to pair with Mike Williams and to pair with Keenan Allen, someone who can streak down the field. I think Olave with the Chargers is just so money for what Herbert does great. So give me Chris Olave here at number 17.
I love that pick. I love them taking a wide receiver. I think it's a fantastic idea.
You got to wonder if you just sniped Philadelphia.
No.
No, he says
No.
no. Okay. I like that pick, by the way. Olave to the Chargers.
I like at least 2 other receivers above Olave, so I was never taking him.
Ooh,
Spice.
spicy.
Uh-huh.
All right, so Dana's up, number 18, Philadelphia Eagles, second pick of the first round for them.
All right, so I am also going to go receiver. I hope that, Olave has been a link to the Eagles a bunch this offseason, but I really hope they don't take him because I think that this guy is actually better than Olave. I'm going to take Treylon Burks for the Eagles at 18.
That makes a lot of sense for what the Eagles want to do and the fact that they took Devontae Smith last year. They're a nice balance for each other. I don't see Burks as a player that someone like the Chargers could draft. Like he doesn't make sense. Olave made sense for them. I do think that Burks makes more sense for the Eagles than Olave does.
Right, exactly, yeah. Olave is, we already have Devonta Smith, so, Olave would just be redundant, honestly.
You have Rager, too.
No, we don't. He doesn't exist. No.
All right.
Treylon Burks, I think, he fits that big receiver mold we kind of need in the offense, so I'm happy to take him there.
I get potentially some JJ Arcega-Whiteside from Treylon Burks. Big body, slow, not able to get balls to the point of attack.
No. The JJ Arcega-Whiteside guy is Drake London.
Oh, slam.
All right. I like it.
Fair enough.
Little spice. All right, Jeff, you are up with the 19th pick. The New Orleans Saints are back on the board.
Yes. So the Saints, with their number 16 pick, went with Drake London. Good pick, Steph. So wide receiver is off the board for them here, in my opinion. They lost some key players on their offensive lines, particularly Teron Armstead, their left tackle, who went to Miami as a free agent. So I think that if they could get a left tackle here, someone who could be really strong in the run game and also in pass protection, I think this is a great spot for Trevor Penning, the offensive tackle mauler from Northern Iowa. So I'm going to go with Trevor Penning and just hope that he improves his discipline in terms of penalties. 34 penalties in college against Trevor Penning is a little concerning, but hopefully the right coaching and the right opportunity there for him, and he gets that shored up. But Saints go with Penning here as a need in a good spot here and take Trevor Penning.
All right, that puts Steph on the board, the 20th pick overall, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the quarterback-needy Pittsburgh Steelers. There is a quarterback waiting on the board right now. Are you going to do it?
Okay, so there's a few ways that we could go here. My idea is that, they're hoping for Malik to fall. That is not the case here. You could make an argument for a player like Jordan Davis. You also could make a strong argument for a tackle here. You could take Linderbaum even, which I know people are very high on him. Ritter is very tempting. It's very tempting. I'm not going to lie to anyone. I'm not going to do it, though. I'm going to play it safe, and I am going to take Linderbaum. I think he comes off the board. If not, then at some point, whether I agree or not, which I don't.
So I actually put a bet in last night. Tyler Linderbaum over 28.5. I think he's going to end up being a second-round pick here. I don't necessarily hate the fit with the Steelers. I do think that they need to shore up their offensive line a lot, especially given the fact that they used a first-round pick on Najee Harris last year, and they have to protect Mitchell Trubisky or whoever ends up being the quarterback there. Linderbaum is good. He plays nasty. He's tough. He's definitely a little undersized, which may be an issue in that division. So I like the pick.
You're talking me out of it.
I don't
now
know.
I want to take
erase.
Now I want to take. No, I want to change my pick. Can I change my pick?
No,
we can't do that.
I want to change it.
No changes.
Wait, let's ask Goodell. He says no.
He says I can't. can because I posted his video of him dancing today.
All right, what's the change?
Okay. Can you guys
boy.
help? Can you guys vote with me? Can it be Raymond or can it be Ritter?
No.
Should we get weird? I'm gonna take Ritter.
Ooh, I like the Ritter pick there.
Do it. Take Ritter. I don't care.
I like it there a lot. All right.
I'm doing it. I want Ritter there. I think that they're a team. And before Ben was like totally decrepit too, he was a little bit more mobile than people remember. It's just that you haven't seen that in so long. I think that Ritter puts him in a good position. I know that there is Mitch Trubisky truthers out there, and that's great. And I love that journey for you. But I think that that's not going to be their future. You know, you're not finding a franchise quarterback. If you're not the guy now, you're not the guy later. And that has held pretty true with maybe like Tannehill, we can make an argument for. But I think Ritter here, I think it's a nice fit. I think you at least get someone that has played in the NFL, has had success, and he can sit and develop, and it puts him in a good position. And there, you know, the line, there's a lot of value later on in this draft. So I'm changing my pick to Ritter.
All right. So Goodell does not approve. Goldell definitely approves. I'm definitely all over
Goldell.
Also because I feel like I let the echo chamber affect me because I don't love Linderbaum. So I feel like I got pressured into that pick.
Never call yourself Goldell again.
Why?
No, I think that I'm
awesome.
changing my name to Goldell.
I think you should.
Roger Goldell.
Roger Goldell.
I think I put a big bet on Ritter to be a first-round pick, top 32. I think that's going to happen. I do think there's a chance that he goes above either Willis or Pickett, most likely Pickett, unless Carolina goes crazy at 6. So I like the fit to Pittsburgh. He's proven that he can play outside. He's got some dynamic tools. We talked about Mike Tomlin needs a running quarterback. That's what he said that he's wanted after moving on from Big Ben. So I think that making sense. It makes a lot of sense here at number 20 for Pittsburgh to go quarterback. And if Desmond Ritter is there, I like it. I'm on the board, number 21, the New England Patriots. This guy, they would be ecstatic if he fell to them at number 21. It's Devin Lloyd, the top linebacker in the NFL draft. I think that makes way too much sense to New England if he is there at number 21.
Yeah. No brainer there, really.
All right, Dan, you're up at number 22 with the Green Bay Packers. All the wide receivers came off the board in the last 11 picks. Where do we think they're going to go?
So I'm going to assume that they look at this board and tilt a little bit and take Kenny Pickett. No, I'm kidding. No. I think in this position, I'm going to take George Pickens. I think that a lot is made of his health, but I think if he were healthy, he'd be one of the top, if not the top receiver in this draft. So I think getting him here at number 22, once he's healthy, he'll be the immediate wide receiver one there. So I really like his landing spot in Green Bay.
So the potential wide receiver options here, if you get to 22 and the top 5 are off of the board, Pickens, Sky Moore. I think this is way too early for Christian Watson. Are there any other options that I'm missing here for wide receiver?
No.
Oh, Jahan Dotson. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Dotson.
So, yeah, I mean, I like the upside of Pickens. He definitely plays that more X receiver spot that Devontae Adams is getting, coming out of. There's not a whole lot of other wide receivers. I guess London's going to play that position, but all the other ones in the first round probably aren't going to play that position. So Pickens may be a great fit in Green Bay. And his ball skills, pretty fantastic. Something that Aaron Rodgers can definitely work with.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We are at number 23, the Arizona Cardinals. Jeff, you have the pick.
Yeah, so I think the board is actually falling pretty well for Arizona. I think that they are targeting someone on their defensive line. They do not have Chandler Jones anymore. J.J. Watt is just getting older. They need someone who can come in and make a difference. Someone who can be a disruptive type of pass rusher, but it can also stop the run. I kind of think that Jordan Davis would be really good pick here for Arizona in the desert with someone who, can obviously make those changes. And, as the team continues to evolve, especially on the defensive side of the ball, Davis he could be someone of a cornerstone in their interior defensive line.
I think it's a great pick if he gets to 23. And if he gets past like basically like the Saints at 19. Like, he's so money. It doesn't even matter if you need a spot for him. Like, he's just that valuable in this spot. All right, Steph, you're up. Number 24, the Dallas Cowboys, your arch rivals. Can't wait to see where you go here at number 24.
Same.
This is just like, Dan, can you make this pick? Like, I just
Give
don't
him,
really.
Give him the San Diego State punter.
No.
Should I really piss them off and take like Carson Strong here?
Yes.
Like, that's like a
Take,
great pick.
Linderbaum.
Yeah, take Linderbaum.
Linderbaum. They need a center.
And a guard.
Fine. I don't know that I love that. I could see them even going
Steph,
like a Devontae Wyatt.
I know who you should take.
No.
It's the O lineman that we talked about before. We talked about this morning. Your guy.
What? Oh, which one? My Tyler Smith guy?
Yes.
That is spicy as hell.
That's what I would take here.
Oh God. No, I'm gonna take Linderbaum because I don't want to deal with my DMs later. So take Linderbaum and be happy with it. But I agree. I think Tyler Smith is one of those guys that is totally getting overlooked. He is one of the nastiest linemen, I think, in this draft, if not he is awesome. And I would not be surprised if he goes in the first round.
All right. So
they don't deserve that. So
I'm on the board here, number 25 with the Buffalo Bills. I'm between three players. I think that there's a chance they go running back and surprise and go Breece Hall. I'm not going to do that. I don't think any running back is worth a first-round pick.
They get him for 5 years, though.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
so basically his whole career.
Unless, of course, he plays off the charts and wants a contract after year 3.
That might happen. I could see them. I could see them going wide receiver. I know that they have Diggs and re-sign him. I know they have Gabe Davis. Cole Beasley's old. I don't even know if he's on the team anymore.
He's not.
I don't know if good. So great. Emmanuel Sanders. I don't even know if he's on the team anymore. So maybe Jahan Dotson's a great pick here. I can't do it. I think that they're going to go defense. There's one guy on the board that I think that they would really want. Defensive end from Purdue, George Karlaftis.
Ooh, I kind of like that.
26, the Tennessee Titans. Dan, you are on the board. Titans, this is interesting.
All right. So I think that the Titans, with all this like A.J. Brown drama, I'm going to assume that he stays, for this pick at least, in Tennessee. So I think one of the things that isn't talked about a lot is the lasting image of Titans being in the playoffs the past couple of years, and then Ryan Tannehill being a bum and throwing 3 interceptions against the Bengals. Matt Corral here. That quarterback for the Tennessee Titans.
Shots fired.
Who?
Wow.
Oh, Matt Corral. Ooh.
Matt Corral.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Yes, he did.
Dude, I get that you are feeling yourself without that beard.
I am. It's a whole new. It's a whole new me.
Wow.
But yeah, Matt Corral there. I think he's owed a bunch of money. He doesn't have any more guaranteed money left on his contract. So I mean, why not?
I don't hate the angle of them taking a quarterback. It just, I actually like Matt Corral more than Kenny Pickett. I know he's not gonna get drafted ahead of him, but really, really interesting.
Thank you. I tried.
All right, number 27, Jeff, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers feel like they have to almost go offensive line here. Is that what you're thinking?
Not particularly. Although they could, they could. Of course, offensive line is important, especially for Tom Brady. What were you thinking, Tyler Smith here?
I was kind of thinking like a Zion Johnson or maybe Kenyon Green, something like that. They've got
some, I don't want to say needs, but they have some areas that I think would be good for them. The defensive line being one, corner being another, offensive line being a third. Oh man. I mean, that's not a bad pick, Zion Johnson, actually, or Kenyon Green. Kenyon Green actually would be he'd be a good fit in that offensive line. You know what? I'm gonna change up. I'm gonna say Kenyon Green, the guard out of Texas A&M, and we'll see exactly where he fits. Most likely the left guard. I'm thinking. Who was it that retired left guard?
Ali Marpet.
Thank you. I couldn't think of his name. And he'd be a good replacement for him. Of course, Tom Brady wants to have that strong line. He's always had success when he's had a strong line. So, yeah, that's a good pick there. I like that. Kenyon Green.
All right. We are down to our last 5 picks here of round 1. Green Bay Packers are on the board, number 28. Steph, you have the selection.
I hate how the board has kind of fallen for them here, but I think I'm going to take Devontae Wyatt, which I understand you probably can make an argument for the line here, but I think that for Joe Barry, this is great for his defensive front, and you just kind of secure that aspect of this entire roster. And Devontae Wyatt is a fantastic player. I wanted to take Travis Jones, but I don't know that everyone else is as high on him as I am. So I'll keep it a little bit more realistic here, although I do think he probably goes in the first round.
I think that, the Green Bay defense has had a lot of success with these run stuffer nose tackles, and I think that Wyatt can play in that mold. So I like the pick for Green Bay there, especially considering that they got their wide receiver at 22. I do think, based on the way that Green Bay has operated in the past, this could be a prime trade down spot for someone looking to get a quarterback and moving up here. This would be a good one for, Green Bay and Detroit wouldn't trade, but this is a spot where I could see Detroit trading from 32 or 34, moving up and getting a quarterback here. All right, I'm on the board, number 29, with the Kansas City Chiefs, who have back-to-back picks, 29-30. I actually have both guys lined up that I want, so I got to try and play this out, see who Dan's not going to take here. The two guys that I want if I were Kansas City here would be Daxton Hill or Sky Moore. I'm going to go, screw it. Let's have some fun. Sky Moore, wide receiver, Western Michigan. That's my pick here for the Kansas City Chiefs at number 29.
That's a fun one.
Well done.
And Dan,
Fun for them.
Dan, you follow it up with number 30, Kansas City.
All right. So I like the Sky Moore pick. I think he's on the smaller end at 5'10". So I don't know that where he would fit, honestly, in the current Chiefs wide receiver room. So I'm going to correct that mistake and take Christian Watson.
What?
Right,
Whoa.
You can't take 2 receivers. That's not how that works.
Yeah, I can.
No.
Christian Watson.
No.
Juju Smith-Schuster just said,
Goldolf. Someone fix that. You can't do that.
You got to pick someone else.
ask Godell.
No, I don't.
No. Yes, you do.
We'll pick
Override.
Christian Watson.
No.
I think anyone will do it.
No.
Well, that's fine, but given the board,
Fine. I'm gonna go defense then. I'll take Nakobe Dean because I don't know why he's still sitting there at pick 30. But he could, he could be the captain of their defense for a long time. I really love him. I really want the Eagles to take him, even though the Eagles will never take a linebacker. So I'd be cool with them taking him at like 18 or 15. But the fact that he's down here, he's the second best linebacker in my opinion, on the same tier as Lloyd. He's a little on the shorter side, but I think for what the Chiefs want to do on defense, he's perfect for them.
You are like a size hater. This guy he doesn't like Sky Moore because he's too little. Now you're saying, what did you say? He's a little short. You know what?
They don't need another short guy.
You need to, I'm texting your wife. You need to grow your beard back. You're out of control, dude. This guy's out of control. He's going to take a wide receiver back to back. Oh, our show is going to be rich after this.
All right. 31, Jeff, you're on the board. Cincinnati Bengals. Who do you like here?
They could go offensive line here, and they could also go corner because I'm not sure if Eli Apple is the answer. Chidobe Awuzie is, he's not a bad player. But I think they need someone who can come in and compete with Eli Apple. I was thinking either Roger McCreary or Kyer Elam as a possibility here. But you also you dangled that carrot of Tyler Smith, which would be a nice fit That would be especially because they got Lyle Collins in free agency as their right tackle. They have Jonah Williams that left. Man, if they added Tyler Smith, that'd be interesting. But I'm going to skip on Tyler Smith. I'm going to go with who I think is the better corner of the two, and that's Kyer Elam, the corner out of Florida.
You won't have much competition against Eli Apple, that's for sure.
You don't like him?
Eli Apple?
Oh,
No.
Sorry. I thought you were talking about Elam.
No, I do like him a lot.
Gotcha.
All
yes,
right.
That's my pick.
So I have the last pick here, 32 Detroit Lions. I don't think this will happen. I don't think this will happen.
You do.
I don't think the 4 quarterbacks are going to be taking the first round. But I do think that Detroit is going to take a quarterback at either 32 or 34 or trade
This
out.
is a
you
great
make the
spot for
same
them to
pick
do
that
it.
I did. If you did this, if you do the same thing.
Or if they don't do it, Jason, someone could come up and trade them for that pick and take a quarterback here to get that 5th-year option.
I think that this pick or this range will be the Desmond Ridder pick, but I can't believe he's still on the board. I can't believe he's still on the board. So
he's not.
Kenny Pickett, come on down. Detroit Lions, 32.
Ew.
There it is.
I hate
This
that.
is not what I would do.
I feel like I'd rather Sam Howell go there.
Ooh, okay. Oh, all right. So let's talk about some snubs. How about some snubs that didn't make it in the first round?
I have a list.
You have a list already?
I have a list
already.
Zion Johnson.
Yeah.
No.
Snub.
Bernard Raymond. Snub. Daxton Hill.
I agree with Daxton Hill. Yeah.
Hill is.
I'm just
Travis
going
Jones.
Listen. Travis Jones. Boyo Mafe.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe.
That's the extent of my list that I have right here.
Where did McDuffie go again?
He went early to
Minnesota, right?
12.
Yeah. It was a really good pick.
Oh, okay.
Jahan Dotson.
Yeah.
Not in the first round. Christian Watson, Dan's guy, not in the first round. Also, Bo Melton, not in the first round. Calvin Austin, not in the first round.
I would have taken him too. I would have taken Bo. If I had the last pick with Detroit, I would have taken Bo just because.
Well, Kansas City would also have Christian Watson.
Yeah. Well, apparently, I can't make my own picks now.
No Breece Hall.
You just can't make ridiculous.
No running back.
You pick McDuffie.
No running back. No tight end.
Yeah, no tight end.
Kansas City is not taking back-to-back wide receivers.
Well,
Dan. You have to at least try to participate in the experience.
I don't think Dan did his homework. Oh, my
You don't
pick's
think
gone.
you don't think there's any chance they would take Sky Moore?
No, not even.
Why?
Because they don't need him. They don't need the type of receiver that he is. They already have that.
Why? Because he's small.
No, because the kind of route running and stuff, they don't need the middle of the field guy, like the yards after the catch guy. They have all those. They need the big, alpha guy that they lost with Tyreek, and Christian Watson is the perfect guy for that.
Well,
I disagree. I actually like the Sky Moore pick.
Pick him anyway,
Kansas
so you
City.
can disagree. It's fine. I
think that's a good pick.
If Sky Moore, okay, here comes a bet. If Sky Moore gets drafted by Kansas City at 29 and 30, you have to get a tattoo on your ass that says Sky, SKYY.
no, it has to say Smalls.
Dan, first of all, do you have any tattoos as it is?
I don't actually. I don't
Okay.
know.
Well, that would be even better. Imagine your first tattoo is a Smalls tattoo. Now that's awesome.
It can be a henna tattoo. I'm not going to make you get a permanent one. No. Steph, we have to make this with it. I'm not going to make him permanently tattoo his body.
Fine.
Well, then if that's the case, then we do his neck.
Yeah, neck is fine, but we obviously have to get all sorts of pictures of it. Your wife is going to do like a full photo shoot with you with the sky on your neck.
Deal. I'll get a henna tattoo.
Yes.
Yes. Love it.
Fantastic.
At 29?
29 or 30.
Oh, all right. Fine.
One or the other.
You said they're not going to take him, so they're not going to take him.
Fine.
Right.
I agree.
Okay.
The tattoo has to be on your face so that when we do the show,
I'll put it right on my forehead.
Yes.
How's that?
Jeff, clip
Yes.
it. Clip that.
I will.
Clip that. We will put it out on
I
social.
support that.
Which
I'll even let
one?
Steph
I'll put it on my
pick which tattoo
forehead?
it is, too.
Yeah.
Steph can pick whatever tattoo it is.
Steph,
All right.
You can pick whatever tattoo it is, and it goes right on his forehead.
You guys heard it. Like
This
everyone
really got-
heard it, right?
This really got spicy. All right, we need to end the podcast now, so Dan can't say anything else the rest of the podcast.
Good thing we're recording after this.
All right, This has been an awesome experience. I actually want to do this again next week. To see where we net out on this. It's been a pleasure. Go play Big Board Showdown right now. Go listen to Every Day is Draft Day, which they are recording literally in 5 minutes. Go join all the 7 stakes contests. And can't wait for the NFL draft. We are only 8 days away. I can't believe it. I'm so ready for this thing to get started.
It's so soon.
I can't believe Tennessee took Matt Corral.
Well, that's what happened.
That was the biggest shock, in my opinion, of the entire first round here.
Imagine if Eagle Dan FF was a GM at this rate. Oh my gosh. It's like Gettleman on drinking like Everclear.
I would never take a running back at second overall and then waste his
God. Okay, Rager. I'm done. Can we end the episode? I've had enough. I need a break from Dan.
Can you change your Twitter handle to what, Gettleman on Everclear? That's your new Twitter handle.
I'm gonna make a bot, like one of those fake like burners. I'm gonna make a Gettleman on Everclear, and I'm just gonna post ridiculous mocks.
There we go. Perfect.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys. This has been a pleasure.
See ya.
Everybody, go play Big Board Showdown. See you later.
See ya.
Yeah.